Basically, it's a tournament where all the best players in the world from different countries and everything come in the same room and play the game that we all love.
I am Jace Belair.
And I am Stoneforge Mystic.
It's just a really amazing game.
That's just mind-boggling to even think about. I guess the rest is history.
Commander is a casual alternate format. Basically, you choose a legendary creature to be your representative. And the colors that card has, mine's red-white, those are the only colors of cards you can have in your deck. My commander is Jor Kadeen, the Prevailer. And I really like limited. I play, sealed and draft, with cube, booster packs, things like that. And so I usually play an aggressive deck. I really like to be the guy attacking and playing removal spells and, putting it out there that I'm going to kind of cut you down. And so I wanted to capture that experience with Commander, which I also really like to enjoy. So, I put together equipment, some removal spells, some cool tricks and things that I can do, a bunch of cool bodies. And play my equipment, play my mana, play my dudes, attack you, and that's the plan. I play, some pretty typical, mana acceleration. They call them mana rocks, like the 2 mana artifacts and stuff like Crystal Ball and other artifacts to keep kind of the mana going. I have equipment. Most of that costs like 2 or 3 mana to put out, and then I start playing awesome dudes, everything from like Covetous Dragon or Hoarding Dragon, Sun Titan to Stoneforge Mystic, and of course Jor Kadeen himself. And because I'm playing equipment and so many artifacts, it turns on his Metalcraft very easily. So even like small dudes, I suit them up, and they've got 8-7 power, very easily. And when I attack with that, it doesn't take very long to kill someone. It doesn't do anything that's too scary. Like I'm not drawing a bunch of cards in any given time. I'm not destroying everybody's lands or anything like that. So it doesn't always paint a target right away. And it relies on being explosive. So I can go, if I'll have Goblin Bombardment, I can play Hoarding Dragon, go find a piece of equipment, sacrifice the dragon to put it out. And I can equip Jor Kadeen and some other creature. Since he gives +3/+0 to all my creatures. If I have a couple other creatures out, or I've made tokens with something, a piece of equipment for each, and they're all, maybe 6/1, 8/1. It doesn't take very much to kind of hit somebody when their shields are down. It relies on a couple, I have Mind's Eye and Crystal Ball, and so that helps keep some of the cards coming and keep getting kind of the things that I'm looking for. And it has a couple tutors, Stonehewer Giant and Enlightened Tutor to go find, if I need a piece of equipment specifically to deal with something. But for the most part, it plays definitely for a quicker game. If I'm not able to get in attacks or you keep killing all of my creatures, it takes a lot longer and it's much more challenging. Red White's a little tricky. I definitely use a few more fetch lands, because I want to cast a lot of stuff. Some things cost double or triple white, and some of the dragons cost double or triple red. So it's definitely a little harder, maybe than I definitely just want to play what I want, so I had to build for that. But there's definitely a lot of enemy colored lands, especially Clifftop Retreat, in Innistrad. I was really excited to see the enemy cycle of those lands come out. So there's plenty in here. And with the artifacts to help find it in the fetch lands that I can use to definitely get the basic land I need. It's pretty smooth. It doesn't do the best job of keeping a full hand. I have Mind's Eye in here because it's there really aren't too many draw engines for red and white there. There's some out there, but basically I don't want to try to find a way just to draw tons and tons of cards, because that makes an aggressive deck really, really tough to handle, because not only is it able to throw a lot of things down and attack you, but when you do have a chance and you need a breather just to reset, someone plays a Wrath of God, I just reload the board immediately right again. And my deck isn't designed to necessarily kill the most efficient way possible, so I don't mind having to sit back and take a little bit longer to rebuild, because that's the window for other people to do their cool stuff. And if somebody takes the time to say, hold on, I'm going to stop you, somebody else has that wiggle room to go do something they want to. One of the ways I did include to kind of move around that is some man lands like Mishra's Factory, and I'm looking to put like a Mutavault or something else in there where I can have like a creature that it's a land, so it doesn't necessarily die right away to Wrath of God, but I can animate it, put some swords on, and continue to attack even if I don't have like a lot of other stuff to do in my hand. Some of the key cards absolutely are being able to tutor for a very specific equipment. Because I'm playing what would probably be characterized as fair, like I'm going to play equipment, play dudes, and attack you. There isn't anything hidden or unusual about that. Which equipment and which dudes, that's obviously dependent upon what I draw or what I go find, but absolutely critical to being able to get in is to get the right sort of the swords, like sort of body mind, sort of light and shadow. So I have all 5 swords in here, and it's the first time I ever put them all into a commander deck, but I just wanted to have a way of going. If I want to be able to attack somebody, I probably can't deal 21 damage in one shot, so I don't feel so bad if I make one guy pretty much unblockable, and I get an effect from them. So it doesn't necessarily devastate them, but it definitely puts the onus on them to go, hey, how can I push back on that a little bit, which what an aggressive deck should do. My exact version of the deck is probably close to $1,000, $1,000. I really like the cool versions, premium foil cards and judge foil cards, special promotional cards. So I have judge fetch lands and the judge Sword of Fire and Ice, and I have foil versions of Feast and Famine and War and Peace, and so those start to add up. Even little things like foil Swiftfoot boots, they aren't, it's not a $1 uncommon you can just go find, at the local store. So it's, it's a little, it can be a little daunting, to approach a deck like that because I've been collecting for so long and that's what I really focus on. I've been very privileged to be able to get those cards. But if I changed, it up and used, kind of non-foil versions and switched out some of the cards for similar cards, I don't have to use the fetch lands from Onslaught and Zendikar. I can use, like a Panorama or something like that. I can, you can make a deck, that costs a quarter of that, $100 to $200, and, it still does pretty much the same thing. What makes Commander different is there's so many different ways to experience and play Commander, based on the commander you choose, based on the type of deck you put together, the cards, whether it's dual lands and fetch lands. I really like really cool flashy cards, but you can also play really simple cards. You can kind of do anything you want. It has it's even bigger than Legacy in terms of the available cards you can use, and so that type of depth, being that it's singleton, so you can't use 4 of a single card. You really get that diversity of cards and effects in play. There's a lot of ways to define good. A lot of people like to define good as in efficient, kills my opponent, is difficult to stop. Not everybody sees eye to eye or wants to play the same way. Whether it's land destruction or attacking or like a combo type deck. Everybody has different ways to play. Not everybody matches up like that. But if you like playing your deck and it feels like something you want to do again, I think you're doing something right. But more importantly, if the people you just finished playing with also want to do it again, then you're really hitting that magical spot. Everybody's enjoying what they're doing, and they want to keep doing that. And that's a really awesome place to be. And if that's all happening, you have good Commander decks.
Grasp of Darkness is 2 black mana for an instant to give target creature -4/-4 until end of turn.